Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. We're starting off our second cycle in 1994 with an album, and this episode we're talking about the Blue Album by Weezer, or just straight up called self-titled album, collectively known as the Blue Album based on the cover here. They've done a couple other albums that have been known by color. But I hadn't listened to this album in quite a while, and loaded it up on Apple Music recently, and just very much enjoyed listening to it all again. It's a great album. It's got a lot of great tracks on it. We're gonna get to like the track list and all that in a little bit, but I got my notes here about it. We're gonna go through these, and I'm just gonna discuss the album and kind of all that. So let me pull the notes open here. I can actually find, there's that. All right, cool. So we have the Blue Album by Weezer, first released May 10th, 1994. Again, this is their debut studio album, and I don't think a lot of us would even know who Weezer is without the iconic Buddy Holly music video. So I didn't listen to Weezer in 1994. I didn't learn about them until 1995. Watching MTV one day, and then there was some kind of video countdown or something, and the Buddy Holly music video was played. Basically has them playing in Arnold's restaurant for the Happy Days. A lot of like splicing in footage from the show to kind of fit the music video. It's definitely an iconic, classic music video. I don't know where I rank it in like my top music videos like listing or anything like that, but it's probably definitely up there because I think it did. I hadn't seen Forrest Gump yet, so I don't know if they use the same like rotoscoping technology to put themselves into those scenes. I'm not really sure how it was totally created, but it's just an incredibly creative music video using, like footage from Happy Days and them just playing Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly being one of the shorter tracks on the album, but I definitely feel that music video really kind of propelled them forward immensely. Even to the point where I have it in my notes here that the music video for some reason was included on the install CD-ROM for Windows 95. I think I still have that CD-ROM somewhere, probably up on a shelf. But yeah, like there's like in the files on that CD, you can access, I think it's like an AVI file or something like that, the music video for Buddy Holly. It was just like a really weird choice. I know they were doing a lot, like Windows 95 was doing a lot of weird stuff. Like they had that, the Matthew Perry and Jennifer Aniston like training video or like little like feature video, whatever you want to call that. It's not like almost like an infomercial, but a little bit more like on the tutorial side. So they had that. They were using like "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones as like their like one of the advertising campaigns for it, and then including Buddy Holly, the Weezer Buddy Holly music video on that CD-ROM. So definitely some weird stuff going on with that. But the album, like I said, came out like a year prior to me learning about it, because I learned about it from the Buddy Holly video. But some a little bit of history here. So the band formed in 1992. They basically were having a hard time getting noticed, really. And I'll come back to this. They did a thing called the Kitchen Tape Demo, which eventually that ended up kind of catching the eye of like record executives and like A&R people and all that. And one thing that's really cool about the band is that they, in the research I was doing, that they use the guitar and bass almost as one instrument. So basically they're playing them in unison, in sync, and turning it essentially into a 10-string instrument, more or less, which is really cool. But they were recording at Electric Lady Studios, and their original guitarist, Jason Cropper, I think, Jason Cropper, was fired. Apparently, like didn't have good chemistry with the band, so they fired him, and they replaced him with Brian Bell, who, as far as I know, is still with the band to this day. The album hit number 16 on the Billboard 200, which is pretty good, especially for like a new band. Don't exactly know where I categorize them musically. Like, it's rock, but it's not quite alternative. Some people have kind of called them like geek rock or stuff like that, which I think they're kind of on the fringe of that. They're not quite as like nerdy as say like they might be Giants or something. So it's like a weird mix between like geek rock and like alternative. I think is kind of where I would probably put them. The album sold incredibly well. Sold about 15 million copies worldwide. It's still their best-selling album. Probably because I think of like I said, like really strong singles like Buddy Holly. Don't know if my name is Jonas was a single, but like Undone, the Sweater Song, Saying It So, just a really solid album, like from start to finish. And then, like I said earlier, I definitely feel the Buddy Holly music video and just the Buddy Holly song definitely kind of, that was kind of like the song on that album. It's not my favorite, but it was definitely had just like mass appeal. That track is just like one of their it might even be their most well-known track. Again, it's not my personal favorite, but it's probably like in the public's consciousness, probably their most well-known. So again, they did, like I said, they had that kitchen tape demo. Apparently when they were forming, they weren't really getting a lot of recognition. They were playing like local shows in LA. And I think in an interview with Rivers Cuomo, he was saying that people were just wanting to show up for like the grunge bands that were playing. So they weren't really getting a whole lot of attention. And then that demo kind of helped them get their record deal. We have some pretty good critical scores for the album. Let me pull those up here. So AllMusic has them at a 5 out of 5. Blender has it at a 4 out of 5. Looks like 3.5 out of 4 from the Chicago Sun-Times. Entertainment Weekly initially gave it a B, but then in about 20 years later, at like a 20-year like retrospective, they gave it an A+. If they changed their kind of score on that one. NME gave it a 7 out of 10, while Pitchfork gave it a 10 out of 10. Q gave it a 4 out of 5. Rolling Stone gave it a 4 out of 5. Rolling Stone Album Guide also a 4 out of 5. And Spin gave it an A. Pitchfork has a really good kind of quote here about it that I'm just going to read. Let me see here. So Pitchfork says, quote, an album so substantial the band misguidedly attempted to tap into its resonance through cover graphics as a mere 2 release later. In 1994, 70s rock had come to mean either a bastardized version of Led Zeppelin or bullshit reconstruction of punk rock. As guitar nerds, Weezer sought influence there, but found true inspiration in forgotten bubblegum power pop like Cheap Trick, Raspberries, 2020, and The Quick. Most impressively, Rivers Cuomo rescued the thrilling guitar solo from finger-tapping metal and disregarding grunge punk, or grunge/punk. A decade later, air guitaring to the album feels far less embarrassing than singing along. With the help of Spike Jones, Weezer kept joy alive in arena rock, making the critical repositioning of Weezer as some emo touchstone even more absent-minded. They called themselves Weezer knowingly for Christ's sake. Yeah, because like I remember like just like the name Weezer. It's just a funny name. So like it sounds weird. So it's just like I said, a kind of like to them a unique, funny sounding kind of like almost like nerdy kind of name. And I think Pitchfork kind of really kind of like encapsulated what made this debut like so good. Like I said, it's still their best-selling record. Don't know where I rank it in their discography because I haven't fully listened to all of their stuff. Like it had been a while since I had actually listened to this one. But like I said, I went back to it recently and really enjoyed it. After that, we're going to get into our track listing. We pull that up. And it's a fairly short, very easy album to listen to. It's got 10 tracks and a little over 41 minutes in length. 41 minutes, 25 seconds. So like it's a nice short listen. I was able to listen to it on like a bus ride to work one day. So that's when I listened to it. But so again, 10 tracks. Track 1 is My Name Is Jonas. Great track there. Love the line of the song. It's like he's like, got a box full of your toys. They're fresh out of batteries, but still making noise, or whatever it is. I just love that lyric because it's like, we got a box of your toys. Yes, the batteries are dead, but they're still making noise. To me, that means that, you know, like they're like looking on these toys nostalgically or reminiscing about them, and then maybe like just like mentally still hearing the sound that they're making. I think that's a great line. So track 1 is My Name is Jonas. Track 2 is No One Else. Track 3 is The World Has Turned and Left Me Here. Track 4 is Buddy Holly. It actually might, I think that is the actual shortest track on the album. Yeah, so it's 2 minutes 40 seconds. But again, like I said earlier, probably their most iconic, or one of their most iconic tracks. Track 4, again, was Buddy Holly. Track 5 is Undone, the Sweater Song. That's a great one as well. And that's a really good one that, like, I think it was on Rock Band, and it actually had all the banter, like, in the opening. They're like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, you come to see the show? Like, and then there's, like, it's got all that banter, like, oh, yeah, the party's going to be awesome, or whatever the lines are. And then later there's, like, a lady talking in the song. She's like, yeah, I want to go to the party, but I don't know if my friends want to go. Can I like, get a ride? That stuff's all really fun. Yeah, Sweater Song's also just, like, a silly song. It's like, pull this thread as I walk away, and, like, the sweater unravels and I soon be naked, or whatever it was. So yeah, track 5 is Undone, the Sweater Song. Track 6 is Surf Wax America. Track 7 is Say It Ain't So. Probably my favorite track on the album. I just love it. Feels like it's a very kind of, like, hard-hitting song compared to some of the other, like, sillier songs like Buddy Holly or the Sweater Song. Say It Ain't So, I think, is a little heavier, and I actually probably think it's my favorite track on the album from them, at least on this album. Track 8 is In the Garage. Track 9 is Holiday. And track 10 is Only in Dreams. So again, 10 tracks, about 41 minutes and 25 seconds. Just an overall great album. It showed up on a lot of year-end lists, which I'm actually going to pull up now. Showed up in, like, a lot of, like, best albums of the 90s, best albums of all time lists, things like that. This one listing here, so Blender, I'm just going to read these off. Blender has it on their list. It doesn't say where it's ranked, but just 500 CDs you must own before you die. Music Underwater had it as top 100 albums from 1990 to 2003. Stylus Magazine, top 101 to 200 albums of all time. Pitchfork, top 100 albums of the 90s. Rolling Stone, top 500 albums, or top 500 greatest albums of all time. Another Rolling Stone list, the 100 best debut albums of all time, and that they had that at number 82 on that list. And then NME has it under the greatest 500 greatest albums of all time list. So they had that at, like, 250, so kind of right in the middle there. Rolling Stone had their 100 best debuts at number 82. The other Rolling Stone list of top 500 had it at 294. Pitchfork has it at number 26 on the best albums of the 90s. Stylus had it at number 177. And the other Music Underwater had it at number 10 out of top 100 albums from 1990 to 2003. So definitely a very solid album. It's got a lot of great tracks on it. Again, some of Weezer's most iconic tracks are on this. Like I said, Buddy Holly, Say It Ain't So, Undone. I would put My Name is Jonas up there as well. But yeah, it's just a great album. I would highly recommend, if you haven't checked it out, highly recommend checking it out. That is going to do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back again in a few days with a movie. And then we'll be back after that with a video game. But again, that's going to do it for now. So thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.